One evening, at the crossroads near an old shack, which had served as a refuge for travelers for many years, several people gathered. They were all sitting around a campfire, listening to a gray-haired wanderer, whom some of them called their teacher. He spoke of remarkable things, about how there is meaning and a path in a person's life, about the life purpose that is important to discover in order to become happy. The conversation was captivating, but not everything was clear to all the listeners. At one point, one of them asked, "All right, if everyone has a path and a purpose, then why do not all find them? Why does it seem like fate favors some and everything works out for them? And why are there those who seem abandoned by fate or entirely forgotten by it?" The old man remained silent for a while, but then he finally answered, "I doubt I can explain this to you. It's even less likely that I can prove anything to anyone. But I will tell you a parable that I once heard from my mentor in my youth. It's a parable about how a person finds freedom and happiness. They say that once in the center of the world, there was a mountain atop which a treasure was kept. It helped a person discover themselves, their life purpose, and thus become happy. That's why everyone tried to climb to the top of the mountain, but not everyone succeeded. From the foot to the summit, there were many paths, and they all converged at the very top. And people lived at the foot of the mountain, and many of them simply didn't notice these paths. But when someone discovered the path upwards and began the ascent, the road at first was simple and beautiful. However, as they progressed, the path became steeper and more dangerous, making the ascent increasingly difficult. Many gave up the climb, descended, and sought another, easier path. When they found a more suitable path, it too was initially simple and gentle. But over time, it became steep again because the path led to the top. People descended again and searched for a more suitable, easier path. So gradually, in search of an easy path, they repeatedly circled the mountain, and only a few dared not to retreat and overcome the ascent. Teacher, this is a very beautiful parable, but how can we understand who among its heroes is truly free? Some people didn't see the path, others saw it, but tried to avoid difficulties, while others overcame difficulties and climbed to the top. And they all acted freely, each making their own decision. I think they are all equally free. You're right, they all acted freely, but not all of them found liberation. Can we call a prisoner in a dungeon free? Or someone lost in the forest? To understand that you were in the forest, you need to get out of it. But then, what does this parable teach? It teaches about our attitude towards difficulties. Wise fate always offers us trials to help us find the path to ourselves. But we see these trials as difficulties and obstacles. We try not to notice them, like those people at the foot of the mountain, or we try to avoid them, like those who constantly seek an easy path and go around. But we need to learn to accept and overcome these trials, because that's the only way to climb upwards, toward ourselves, toward true freedom.